How is everybody doing? This is episode 14 of Sit Down with Sniper. Today we brought on Tornado Toad, who is founder and the artist behind the Gunslingers. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, it's been a good day, man. It's been a good day. I just want to start off and let everybody know that, you can always find us on Spotify and Apple. I've had a lot of people ask me recently, and I do also want to say that we're looking for sponsors. So if anybody would like to reach out or know someone that would like to reach out, please do so. And not to mention, big shout out to Andrew Wang, because he was a guest last week on the podcast, and just today he was doing a space with Andrew Yang. So it was really cool to see Andrew Wang and Andrew Yang get together and host a space. Big shout out to both of them. And I do want to tell everybody, always do your own research. We seen some things pop up in the space recently with some projects. Not everything can be seen right at the naked eye. Sometimes it's a lot deeper than just looking into a project, and sometimes you're not going to be able to see until it's too late, maybe. We saw things with Weather Report. If you know, you can look into it. Spaces are still recorded. But yeah, we love the artist in this space, and just always do your own research. But Tornado, this is all about you today. We know that you're founder of the Gunslingers, you're the artist there, and honestly, you've done a lot of work around the community that not a lot of people know about. So to start it off, I just wanted to see if you could give us a quick rundown on your background in the community and what you've done out here.
Yeah, for sure. I entered the space sort of late last year, um, just with some ETH that I had sort of been buying over the last few years. And I first started off animating people's cool cats for them, just because, I'm an animator by trade, and I wanted to get into the space and sort of make a name for myself because I always had the plan of creating my own project. So yeah, I started off animating people's cool cats for them, and that went really well. Like every time I posted one, I'd get 5 to 10 more requests from other cats asking for the same thing. And then after that, I ended up contacting Deadfellas, and I did all of their Discord emotes. And from that, I think Cryptodes reached out to me, so I've done all of their ones. And it's just kind of snowballed from there. Since then I've worked with Fishy Fam and Alien Friends as well. Like I've done a few sort of, I don't know what to call them, trailers, I guess. Just little, 5, 10 second little animated clips for them. Creature World as well. I think Danny Cole just posted a short clip the other day on his Instagram, or maybe on the Creature World Instagram, of like the creature emerging from the painting. So that was me in my studio as well. Yeah, I've got my little tentacles everywhere in all these different projects.
No, I mean, I never knew to the extent that it was this many projects, man. You're like the emoji king out here. I mean, you've made some great work, man, and I really like seeing it. I do want to say, could you give us, for those that don't know, I've seen Tornado Toad through the community, and that's where I've got the chance, I've listened in on stuff, and I've been through the Discord
Hmm.
server, and I'm actually a holder of Gunslingers as well. I have 2 of them. So,
Oh,
as well, I see
nice.
A-Town a lot. I see A-Town talking about you guys, and that's a good friend of mine. And he loves the Gunslingers. He always talks highly about the Gunslingers. So, yeah, I always had to get you on here, Tornado.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, A-Town's everywhere as well. He's a good dude.
No, we love A-Town. And I said all this to say, is there any way you could talk us through what made you start Gunslingers? I know that you said you always wanted to do your own project, and it seems you've had great success with it. I would say it's an absolutely loving project. We've seen a lot of people become holders. You've been around for a little while as well too as the project. But what really pushed you to do it, or what clicked one day and you were like, oh, you know what, today's the day that I'm gonna start, pushing out NFTs?
I don't know if I fully remember the exact moment, but as like a general sort of feeling, being in the NFT space and seeing a lot of the, I don't know, I guess I don't know what to call them, like junk projects, that were just, super tech focused and hyperactive and, crazy colors and weed smoking, fedora wearing apes and stuff. I was just, and just even the speed of the NFT space as well. It's so hard to keep up for someone who's coming into the space sort of fresh or from a um, different community. So I kind of wanted to create something that as a response to all that sort of tech futuristic focused, I guess, crypto aesthetic that I didn't resonate with. I know a lot of people do, but I also felt that a lot of people would resonate with something that's a bit slower, a bit more genuine, and so also everyone was talking about how it's all the Wild West, like the whole NFT space and crypto is the Wild West, and no one was really doing anything about it. No one, everyone was saying that, but then there was no actual cowboys around. So yeah, I guess it was like a response to the crypto aesthetic that I didn't resonate with. And I just felt that other people would feel the same as me. So I created these cowboys for everyone.
Hell yeah! I mean, I love the Cowboys, man. They look amazing. Like I said, I wouldn't be a holder if I didn't like them. And it isn't just because I have friends or you're such a great person. I genuinely like the art, and it's so cool seeing them. With Gunslingers being your project, man, I also wanted to ask you, if you can disclose, is there anything that you've been working on lately, further with the Gunslingers, or anyone else that maybe you could disclose with us?
Um, yeah, I think so. We're about to release our next roadmap in the next few days. I don't know when this is going to air. It might already be out by then. Um, but we are talking to a few different game developers to we've always said we want to do some like a dueling game with the gunslingers. So that's underway. I've got a kickoff call with some devs on the weekend for that. So that's super exciting. I think it's going to be really fun as well. I've also got a 3D artist on board who's going to be helping out with another fun little sort of side project for gunslingers,
Ooh,
which
that'll be nice.
yeah, we had it was yeah, it's going to be like a sort of mutation thing, like the serums, like the bored apes and stuff, but with its own utility as well. So we're still brainstorming that, but I had some really good ideas about that yesterday, which I think are going to be super fun.
Yo, that's some pretty
Yeah.
big alpha to me. I don't know. This will be airing. I don't know what is today, the 17th. It'll be airing on Monday. So
Okay.
today's what, Thursday?
Hmm.
Yeah, so it'll be airing Monday on the 21st. Had to check my calendar real quick. So who knows, man. That's huge to me though. I mean, 3D art is for sure a big thing. I love seeing it, and to see your characters in 3D will be a pretty big thing to me because I like some of the traits. I'm not even going to say some because that makes it sound awful. I like a lot of the traits, and not only that, I'm really, really curious to see what this roadmap is going to look like. You've done a great job, as it is with the gunslingers. So just to know that there's something else coming forward, that's huge to me.
Totally.
So I do want to bounce over and say, with Gunslingers being a success, like I said, I think it's a huge success. What would you say is one of your biggest failures, and how did you grow from it, or how did that help you become better at your craft, or even possibly just become better in general?
Um,
I know that's kind of a big question to just, put you on the spot with, but, I know that, being an NFT project owner, it's not easy whatsoever.
yeah.
And to see even the slightest bit of success, is huge in this space. So I know that, not everybody has a upwards trajectory at all times. You're not always going to go up. It's not all wins at all times. So I didn't know if maybe you did have that moment that stuck out to you that, kind of shaped, your whole vision that you have now.
Yeah, I mean, I think my one of the hardest parts was thinking I could do all myself, which I'm still managing most of the project as well. Just with me and like a small number of team members who they've got other stuff to do as well. So I think yeah, just getting help, asking for help when you need it. I think that's where I've sort of overworked myself and let things slide or um yeah, not sort of being able to provide as much for the community as I want to because I'm trying to do it all myself, which that's still something I'm struggling with at the moment. But uh, yeah, I mean, just finding other people is also super hard that you trust that can take on some of the burden for you as well.
I would say that's probably the biggest thing because you made good points. Finding people, it is hard, but it's doable, and we know that
Hmm.
because you can just grab anybody, off Twitter, grab anybody that you know, but finding someone that you genuinely trust, that's
Totally.
when it becomes a big deal. Because I mean, I'm sure a lot of projects have this issue. Cool Cats, Azuki, Doodles. I don't know why I always name them three. Them are just like the three on the top of my head.
Hmm.
But you have a legitimate business that you're trying to do. You have a legitimate project. Real money is coming in, real cryptocurrency is coming in, and to just trust anybody with that's not an easy task. And I definitely don't think it should be done. I love that you take that awareness and that caution to that you do all this by yourself. But man, if you ever need help, I mean, I am a busy person myself, but I would always help you out in any way that I can. And I mean, I can ask you right here: do you need help? I mean, if so, anybody listening in, I mean, if you're a genuine guy, reach out to me or woman, genuine guy or woman. Reach out to me, and if there's any way you could help Tornado Toad, man, I would love to help you out. And I don't want you doing all this by yourself. I know it's a lot of stuff, and like you said, you have Roadmap 2 coming out. I would hate for you to have to take on all that by yourself, brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I've got some more people around, like some of the mods and stuff that are going to be taking on bigger roles and stuff. Um,
Awesome.
so yeah, it's looking better, but it's tricky, sort of even just handing over responsibility as well. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, you got to think. I mean, even with the Discord server, I talked to three founders today from Three Landers, Blocks, and Whiskers, and
Hmm.
that had came up as well as a question. It's stressful out here for founders. You have media, you have your team, you have the Discord server, and whenever you don't have a huge team, that's a lot for one person. And whenever you have a small team, it does require people to step up. So I mean, honestly, I know that you're a great person and you have some great people on the team. I've been in the server, I've seen the team, I've talked to numerous of the people, numerous amounts of the people. I don't know how to say that, anyways. But yeah, they're all great people, and I have no doubt that you'll do amazing. But bouncing over, another question that we had for you was, is there anyone in the NFT community, and I'm not even going to specify it to just the community, is there anyone in life as well that, and it could be multiple people, that inspired you early on to do what you do? So maybe as an artist, as a person, or even in the NFT community, you might have looked up to another project owner or founder and thought, that's kind of what I want to model myself after. I didn't know if.
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked this question before, and it's a tricky one because I don't think I really have a clear answer that I've thought about before. But today today I have an answer. Um, I don't know if you're aware of he's LA based artist. He's an LA based artist now, but he's from my city in Australia. His name's Sutu. He's got his own
I don't think so.
collection. Right, he's got his own collection on the Tezos network. Tezos? How do you say that? I've never said it out loud before. Tez network. Um, uh, and I mean, I met him. How many years ago was it? Maybe 10 years ago. I was working for a studio in Melbourne here, and we were working on porting his interactive web comic to iPad. So I used to work on a lot of iPad and iPhone apps and stuff back in straight after university, before I got into animating for a job. And I met the guy then, and I think he was like a massive inspiration to me. Like after we finished working on the project, like he invited me around to his like art studio, and I helped him out on a few of his comics as well. And we've stayed in touch this whole time. And he's just seeing him go from living in like a shitty little studio, just making his own art because he loved doing it, to he was one of the first adopters of like VR painting and stuff, and he was telling me all about it and to like get on early. And Google were flying him out to Dubai to just do live VR painting, in front of like a massive audience and stuff, and I just like couldn't believe what he was doing. But and now, yeah, now he's moved to LA, and he's got his own like super successful PFP project on the Tez network as well. And his art has been in so many galleries and exhibitions all over the world. Um, yeah, it's just really inspiring to see him do so well. And he was one of the first like actual artists that I met in person, after uni, that
Yo,
has
that's
yeah, he's if you haven't seen his work, you should definitely check it out. It's Sutu, Sutu.
SUTU. That's awesome. I'll have to write that down. As a matter of fact, I'll type that in my little notes right now, and y'all
Yeah,
can hear me
it's
type it.
it's a super different style. Like it's all very. I mean, I don't hate tech focused stuff. I just wanted to create a response to that. That's where the Gunslingers came from. But his stuff is all sort of really dark with like neon lights and flashing colors and stuff. And uh, it's super cool stuff. I think he's inspired by like Mobius and artists like that. Definitely, yeah, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely check it out. And anybody listening, like he said, SUTU, Sutu, definitely check it out because, I mean, I'm always down to check out other work. And, with the eye like yourself, like I said, I love your animation and stuff. So whenever artists find other artists, I'm always like, oh, yeah, they definitely have the eye because they have an eye themselves. Um, but, with that being said, let me not forget. And anyone listening in on this episode, for last week's POAP, I don't know why POAP decided to screw me over, but they declined my secret code. First time in 4 months that they've ever declined my code. So I'm trying to work to get that fixed. Hopefully, this week they said everything should be fine. So with that being said, Tornado Toad, we usually do a POAP. I know most people ain't familiar that I do that on this episode, but I've been
Hmm.
trying to wait and like surprise people and let them pick while on the episode live. So I'm gonna let you pick a secret code, secret phrase, however you want to word it. But what would you like your secret code to be for the POAP this week?
That's a tricky one.
And I
Let's
know I
get
always try to put people on the spot because it's more genuine whenever they think of it right off the top of their head.
All right, let's go with Frog Hop.
Frog hop. Okay, like
Mm,
FROGHOP.
that's the one. It's hard to say, and it's
Okay. No,
I guess
as
it's
someone with
a
I have a speech impediment, so I'm over here trying to like struggle to say it, but I got it. Frog hop. I got you.
Frog Hop.
I
Let's
like
do
that,
it.
man. It's going to be the most unique one that we've had yet. Frog hop. So if you're listening in, it's going to be frog hop, FROGHOP, all together. Because I don't think POAP lets me put a space in between the words. So it's frog hop all together, and it's going to be all capital letters. And I'll say that again at the end of the episode, just for the people that need to hear it again. But yo, I like that. And I do want to ask you quickly, would you like for me to put your gunslinger that is your profile picture on there, or would you like to design your own?
I will design one for you for sure.
Okay, well, you heard it first, and I want y'all to know that I am not kidding you when I say Tornado Toad makes some amazing art, because it's not only the gunslingers that he's done. Like I said, he's made these emojis, these gifs. Oh my God, Tornado Toad, were you not the one that made the barking Ray Ray?
I made the barking Ray Ray, yeah.
Oh my God, dude, when I saw that barking Ray Ray, it made me so happy. You don't understand. And they were like, yeah, Tornado made that. And I was like, dude, this is so great. I love it. So yeah, dude, big shout out to you. You know, I'm a huge fan of the Ray Rays. And yeah, just to know that you made that just like fucking made my world, man.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I bought the Ray Rays. I bought a bunch of Ray Rays. My bags are full. Um, and yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna animate this Ray Ray barking. I did it. I sent it to Dose, and he loved it. And I added the Ray Ray the wolf command in the Discord.
Dude, I have it saved as a GIF on my GIFs. It's on recently used. It's on favorites. It's on all that. I use it all the time when I hop into a server, especially the Ray Ray server. So yeah, definitely big shout out to Dose. Big shout out to Ray Ray. I know they're having something in a week or two. They're doing like a soccer tournament. You know, a lot of people in LA, if you're out there, you can go to it, find it on Ray Ray's Twitter handle. Uh, but yeah, you know, a big shout out to them. They're doing great things. I have a bag myself, so love to see what they're gonna do. But man, I'm so happy that we were able to do that Poe app and you can design it. That has me so ecstatic. So to slide over again,
hmm
I do want to ask: is there any? I have a whole war zone going on upstairs. If y'all heard that, what advice would you give to someone who wants to do what you do, as far as maybe, let's say, be an artist, start an NFT collection, or honestly, I guess anything. Is there any
hmm
words of encouragement? I guess would be the words for that.
I think the main thing that where a lot of people trip themselves up is not trusting themselves. Um, and I think that's the most important thing that I've learned, over my career where I'm, pretty established. I've been doing animation for like professionally for about 10 years. I've been doing it since unprofessionally for like since I was 13.
Oh wow.
Um, but and I learned it then while I was doing that, and then now in the NFT space, I've had to like relearn it because it's like it was a brand new thing. It was like I came in as a baby, not knowing anything. It was similar to when you're in elementary school and you're like, you get to the top grade and you think you're the king, and then you
Oh
start
yeah.
and then you start high school and you're the baby again. You're like, oh
Yeah, you're
God,
like, oh damn.
that's what it felt like, coming to the NFT space, and I didn't trust myself again. At the same time, I was just like trying to learn and gain information and talk to people and meet people. And, a lot of people had some really great advice, and a lot of people had some really bad advice that was just their personal opinion. That was, I don't know if I can say wrong, but it definitely wasn't helpful and it wasn't relevant to me, I guess.
No, you could
Um,
say wrong. They had a wrong opinion.
their opinion was wrong. My opinion was right.
Yes,
Um,
that's right.
but yeah, I think it's just like, don't just shut your eyes and block your ears and charge forward, but, check in all the time and be open to things. But if it seems a bit iffy or that maybe you do know better than someone telling you some bad advice or wrong advice, then you're probably right. Um, yeah.
I like that. No, I really do. I mean, I'm gonna use that advice for myself. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But and it's funny because, to be all the way honest with the listeners and you, Tornado, my outline's done. I have no more questions for you. I don't know who I had. It's funny because I actually had a friend write this up, and whenever we're like done with this episode, I'm gonna go absolutely destroy him for not making this nowhere near as long. But don't worry, we're not done. The episode is not over. I still want to go for like another 10 minutes. So I already exited out of my Word document. We're freeballing off the top of the head. We're here on episode 14. We're about to just have fun with it. Tornado Man, it's been fun for all of us in the space. Myself, I've been in it for about a year. How long have you been in it? I might have forgot, or you might have said it already. But how long have you been in?
I would say about a year as well. NFT in the NFT space, about a year.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've both been in it for about a year. I would say it's been pretty fun for the most part. Another way to keep this going, can you give me one thing that you've really, really enjoyed other than, doing your own project? So someone as a consumer buying, trading, selling NFTs, what's one thing you've really enjoyed? And then what is one thing to this day you still either can't wrap your head around why people do it, you don't like it, or anything like that? So one thing you like, one thing you dislike as a consumer, not as a founder or artist, more or less.
That's a good one. I think
I know these are on like really specific things off the top of my head, but I feel like you got some good answers for us, Tornado. I got you.
I think so. Um, one thing I like is when a project just creates like a really decent vibe, like the Cryptodes. That's one that stands out to me. Where,
Okay, that's a good
you know,
example. Cryptos have a real good. I mean, vibes are what literally brought them up. So yeah, I like that example.
totally. And I just I like that they didn't have a roadmap. They're just like this is the art and the vibes, and that's it. And it was just I don't know. I got so much joy of people coming in and demanding roadmaps and all this other stuff, and they were just like, no, the roadmap is just a vibe. I
Yeah,
thought that was
literally,
cool.
that's Ray
It was
Rays.
refreshing. It was refreshing. Same with the Ray Race, exactly the same thing. Um, and it's like if you do that, you're kind of guaranteed success, whatever that looks like to you, you know? Because
Right.
if people buy into the vibe, then what more do you want? That's it. They've done it.
No, I agree 100%. And I've said that from day one. That's what made me vibe with the Ray Rays. The fact that there was no pressure on anybody. There was no roadmap that nobody had to really abide by. Like, there was a roadmap to a sense, but it's literally just to have fun. And you see that with Letters by Vinny Hager as
Mhm.
well. There's no
Same thing.
really real roadmap. It's the art. The art is the roadmap. You see that there's been benefits of holding a Letters. You get whitelist, you get allow list, you get different things, but that's not set in stone, because if you were to expect it and it didn't happen, then it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally.
But what was one thing? Did you say the one thing you dislike? My
I
fault. I
did
might have just
not.
totally lost it.
No, I didn't. Um, the one thing I mean, there's lots of things I dislike. I dislike all the whitelist grinding. I
Dude,
think
I was
everyone.
literally just about to ask you that next. So hold that thought on that, and we can
All
we
right.
can use that to keep the podcast running. So I know
Okay,
you said
okay.
you have a lot of things you dislike, and I want people to know Tornado Toad's a loving guy, but apparently we got some things that he dislikes. So I really got to hear these.
Um, I dislike the overhyped projects as well. I mean, I don't dislike the project. I dislike that it happens, and
Yeah,
it just feels yucky. I don't know. It's like a project will have 100,000 Twitter followers without even launching yet, and they expect like everyone. It's gross on all on in all aspects. It's like the the people that are pumping the project. There's only 10,000 um, NFTs to buy, and there's 100,000 followers. So like, you're gonna have 90,000 people really upset because they feel entitled to getting one of these NFTs because they've been there from the start. And the entitlement is also something that I don't like. You know,
Oh
they're
man, so many people feel like, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Tornado.
no, go on.
I could literally make a whole podcast on literally, that right there. But the fact that people, literally, I saw a Discord open the other day, and just because someone was like first in there, they were like, "Oh yeah, I automatically get allow list, don't I?" And I was like, "Can you not just be happy that you were in the server? Like that's literally
Yeah,
all this is a server." But the entitlement of people. I've literally seen it time and time again where people will grind a server, and whenever they don't get the spot or they somehow don't get the allow list, they'll leave. It's like,
yeah,
where did you expect just because you talk every day that you were going to get it? But that's then where the reason why I don't like the whole grinding and the whole all that just to get a spot. Because like you said, 60,000 people in this server. How do I expect you to realistically look at me? Come on.
yeah, totally.
But
Um,
I do want to ask you again, the Dutch auctions. I'm so glad I said that correctly because I usually slaughter the word Dutch. But how do you feel about Dutch auctions? I've said it. See, look, I just slaughtered it. We've seen a lot of people use them, and I've said it time and time again. They can be done correctly, but people fail to do so because they always use these outrageous price ranges. 888, for example, you know. But I wanted to get your thoughts on that. How do you feel about these Dutch auctions, man? Do you think they're good for the community? Do you think they're going to be around, stick around, or you think they're just going to fall off soon because nobody's using them correctly?
I haven't super been across any big ones, so I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on them. What happened with 888? What happened with their one?
So that one was just more or less. So I say that people should use them correctly in the price range for whenever you have the resting price. And for those
Hmm.
that are listening in that might not know, the resting price is the price that it stops at. So
Right.
if you start a Dutch auction at like 12 ETH, but the resting price is like 8 ETH,
Wrong.
that you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's outrageous. I said to someone else that if it would have started at 8.88 and then ended at 0.888, I feel
Yeah.
like a lot more people would have been very okay with it. I'll say okay, maybe not been happy that it started off at 8, but they would have been okay. And he would have had a lot more success. I think only 37 sold out of like I don't know how many thousand, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
it was just a little bit of a thing where I mean, once again, people feel like Dutch auctions could be good, but people are just using them in the most outrageous and heinous ways.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I think that they're going to fall off, but, who's to say? And the last thing I wanted to ask you about, because I know you can talk about this, you wanted to say a little bit earlier, allow list. We spoke
Hmm.
about it briefly. How do you feel? Do you think that this allow list thing should continue to go on? Because truthfully, we seen Azuki use the 721A CA or whatever it's called, and I can't think of it off the top of my head, but we knew that it helped people with minting. The gas wasn't as outrageous. You saw it with Cool Cats, how they put in like a little captcha or decipher thing with the pets, and that kind of eliminated the gas war to start off. So honestly, are allow list even needed?
What did Cool Cats do again?
So with the Cool Cats, whenever they did the pets, whenever you went to go mint it, they put up a little 5-letter word that you had to decipher with a legend. So it was just like I guess a couple of emojis that they had drew up, and you had to spell out a word like boots or like
Right, right, right.
slide. And
Oh,
once you
cool.
typed it in, you were then eligible to mint. And
It,
there for a
yeah,
second, a
nice.
lot of people got a decent price for the cool pets. You didn't have to spend 2, 3, 4 ETH during the gas war.
Yeah. Was that just to sort of spread out the mintings to like delay people and stuff?
I think so. What they did, I believe there was 30 different answers, so not everyone had the same
Yeah.
exact answer. So it did spread people out, and that was so not everyone could cause a huge gas war, because you were
Yeah.
going to have people that flew through it, and I think some of the answers did get leaked beforehand. But
Yep.
even with the answers getting leaked, I almost minted at 500 Gwei,
Hmm.
and the eggs were already at like 2.5 ETH. So there were some people that were able to mint the egg under the floor price and were very happy with it. I didn't see a lot of people complain about that drop at all. And there was
Yeah.
not a lot for public. So
Yeah.
once again with the question, do you think allow lists are even needed out here?
Um, I don't know. I don't think so. I think like we did one, but when I decided that, I didn't really I hadn't seen that many allow list disasters at the time. And people weren't as against them, I guess, when I started as well.
True. You
Um,
were
I,
you were a lot earlier on. That was earlier on, and now we've just seen people totally abuse the allow list system, man.
yeah, totally. It's funny that you're saying I was early on and it was like November.
I mean, it's crazy, man, because some people, it's amazing the amount of people that like tell me, even to this day, like, yo, I just got into NFTs a week ago. Like, oh, I
Yeah,
just got in like 2 weeks ago. And I'm
yeah,
just like, I mean, of course, there's going to be people where 2022 is their first year of NFTs. 2023 is going to be their first year of NFTs. And to
totally.
think, we were in it July, earlier, I think I was in like January of 2021.
Yeah,
It's just wild.
yeah.
Um,
But
but
yeah, allow lists. I think they're a way to build hype and get more people interested than are gonna be able to mint it.
right,
Which
right.
it's like a form of marketing, really. Which so I don't know if it'll disappear. I do think that what Mechaverse did with their raffle, that kind of made sense to me. It's like everyone can enter the raffle, and then they drew out however many people it was.
Right, yeah.
Um, but then their whole minting process was a complete mess as well because, they knew everything that was minted, and apparently they gave people, uh, like they gave their friends specific mint passes that would get them like rarer mechaverses, I
Yeah,
heard.
that Mechaverse was such a mess, man.
I, and I
But
pre I predicted it as well. It was one of the first ones that was like super overhyped. It had like 100,000 people in the Discord and only what 8,000 NFTs, and I was like, this is going to be such a fucking mess, such a
and it was.
disaster. And it was, and not only was it because so many people missed out, so every single one of those people is going to be in the Discord screaming and just saying how the project was a scam and they got rugged and whatever they could make up with just to vent their like anger for missing out and their entitlement. But also, I think the reveal was really underwhelming. They all just had the grey background.
That reveal was one of the worst things I had
It
ever
was
seen in my
so
NFT
funny.
career. But I mean, but it's history. It's like the Yetis. It's literally
Totally.
history.
I might get one now,
So
actually. What are they at?
I have no clue.
Oh, they're at 1 ETH. Yeah, let's get five.
Oh my goodness, you hear that, y'all? That's Tornado Toad just acting a fool right now. But Tornado, I mean, dude, I told you that at 25 minutes I was gonna keep it running off the top of my head for at least 10 more, and I did
Hmm.
13 more. So I'm happy for us. We were able to free ball it,
You
and
did it.
yeah, we did it, man. I'm so happy that you were
We
able to
did
come
it.
on here. Yeah, we did it, man. We did it. All of us. We all got through it. We all pushed 13 more minutes. I had to do something. So, but no, I'm so happy you came on here, Tornado. With gunslingers, you've always been positive. You've always popped in other communities and spoke highly of everyone. You've always been so kind. So yeah, man, it was cool to be able to come on here and give you your flowers. Oh yeah, and for people listening in, do not forget the POAP code will be Frog Hop, FROGHOP, all together, all caps. But Tornado man, I can't thank you enough for coming on here. I said that over and over and over again. But before I end this and wrap this up for episode 14, we're hitting 40 minutes. Is there anything you wanna say to the listeners to finish us off with?
I think the only thing I can say is we're gonna make it.
Oh, that's facts. That's facts. We are gonna make it, and I know people have been telling y'all for a year that we are early, but I'm serious. We are still early. There are still tons and tons and tons of people that do not know about NFTs, have not bought NFTs. I literally just gave 2 of my in real life friends NFTs, and we're growing. We are gonna make it, like he said, and we're gonna continue to win. So thank you so much, Tornado, for coming on here. And everybody listening in, do not forget that you can find us on Spotify, you can find us on Apple, you can find us on Google, you can find us down the street at the ice cream shop. You can find us everywhere. But have a great day, everyone. Tune in next week. This will be airing on Monday the 21st, something like that. Yada, yada, yada. Y'all have a great day. I love you all. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next Monday. Peace out.